Taking a look at the front of the box, we can see that it's pretty much got all the information that we need on there. The Silverstone logo and the name. It also tells us that it's part of the Shugo series, which, as we know, there are plenty of various different models in that series. This particular one is the SG07, the ultimate evolution of high-performance Mini ITX. Gives us a nice, clear product shot, and then down here it lists some of the main features, mainly to do with that it's a class-leading small form factor chassis, that has a huge 180mm fan and positive pressure cooling, and then goes on to talk a little bit more about the sort of main dimensions, specifications, and one important thing in my eyes is that it supports graphics cards up to 12.2 inches and 400 watt. Turning the box around and taking a look at this side of it, we can see that there's firstly an introduction about the actual case itself and the sort of Shugo series. It tells us about the SG01 Micro ATX small form factor case and how it was released in 2005. Then goes on to talk about the SG05, which was actually released in 2009, the first Mini ITX case in the series. So it does give you a bit of background on the whole Shugo series and talks about how this has got a power supply included as well, and that takes us then over to the specifications, which does list the model number, the material used, the colour that it comes in, the motherboard or form factor, Mini DTX and Mini ITX, exactly what the dimensions are for drive bays, the cooling system, and a lot more. Down here it does tell us about the graphics card length reference, which just basically says that it does support up to Radeon HD 5970 graphics cards, which are 12.2 inches. I'm guessing as the next model of this case comes out, they will list sort of more graphics cards that are more current, the 6800 series and the GTX 580, 570 and so forth. But at the time of the production of this case, these were some of the latest graphics cards out on the market. And for some users who are in other countries, it does list the main features once again in many different languages. We've got Deutsch or German, French, Espanol, Italiano, so quite varied, and it does show that Silverstone do appeal to the masses. We can also see that it has the support at silverstonetech.com email address and Silverstone's website as well, so if you do have any problems you can always send an email off to them. Now you will notice that when you get this case it is surrounded by sellotape, and it is just a matter of cutting it open as usual. So it's just a matter of getting a knife or some scissors and cutting down here. Now be sure not to cut too deep because you don't really want to damage the case inside. And then you can continue to open the box up. Cut some more of the sellotape. And inside we can see exactly what comes sort of packaged with it, and we can see that it has polystyrene on either side and then a protective bag as well. Now once you've taken everything out of the box, you will notice that there's quite a few accessories that come with this. To start with, we have a power cord for the EU market. We also have another power cord for the UK market. We also have this, which comes in two parts. Firstly, you've got the dust filter, which is for graphics cards, which go onto the side of the case, and then you get this sort of foam insert. It's just a matter of taking out the middle bit, and then you can install this into there to make it as one unit. I'm not quite sure why they ship it separately, probably just so it doesn't get damaged, anything like that. You also get some bags full of screws, fixtures, fittings, two cable ties which are reusable, and also a manual, which if we open this up, plenty of diagrams in there with the full specs, a disassemble chart, installation guide, and that's in many different languages, just as we saw on the side of the case, on the actual box. You can see it also talks about the VGA duct installation, which we just spoke about as well. You can then see that you've got the polystyrene around the case and the bag as well. Now it's just a matter of turning this over to take the polystyrene off. So that you're left with the case in its protective bag, which you can then continue to take out of. To reveal the case itself with this sort of protective front, so if we take that off, we can see the case itself in all its glory.